Hello, this is the World University and School Live Hangout on Air on Monday, November 26th, 2018. And as we wait for people potentially to join this live Hangout on Air, I'd just like to share with you some updates and news about World University and School, and perhaps touch on briefly direction for PhD degrees, and with regard to World University and School's plans to be in all 200 countries, official and main languages online. So some news: World University and School is beginning our platform anew in Google Sites, which will give us access to many machine learning potentials and much else in the Google platform, including Google Translate, and TensorFlow relating to machine learning, and the potential to develop with regard to Google Docs, and also security-related benefits. And World University and School is developing in Google Sites on both our nonprofit MIT OpenCourseWare centric side, and exploring how this might work with our parallel wing, the World University and School Academic Press, on the for-profit side, as two separate entities. So that's a little news about World University and School's developments there. Also, World University and School is developing a collaborative relationship with the Stanford Graduate School of Education, and a possible coding team emerging from there that is wonderful and has been long needed at World University and School. This is partly in preparation for developing with accreditation, first with the state of California Bureau of Private Post-Secondary Education, and then potentially with WUaS Senior, Western Association of Schools and Colleges Senior, which also accredits, for example, Stanford. So World University and School is seeking our upcoming second matriculating undergraduate class in the autumn of 2019, and the website in Google Sites will be focused on that in part. World University and School is also exploring how degrees will work in various countries. So with accreditation in the state of California, first, the degrees that we are planning, bachelor's, PhD, law and medicine, and international baccalaureate high school, but that would be potentially a different accrediting agency, accrediting on MIT OpenCourseWare in 5 languages, and potentially MIT OpenCourseWare High School for the IB diplomas, both in all 200 countries, official and main languages. Would develop degrees that would be, in many ways, with that accrediting process, United States university-oriented, and maybe California university-oriented, since WUaS Senior and BPPE accredit California degrees. But in seeking to be in all 200 countries' official languages and offer online degrees in those countries too, based on the MIT OpenCourseWare in its 5 languages. We will engage educational systems in all 200 countries' languages. A PhD, for example, degree is potentially different in Japan than it is in the US, is different in Germany than it is in Brazil. And how that emerges around the MIT OpenCourseWare at World University and School will be a potentially very fruitful conversation, and how it gets coded for also in terms of accreditation and the potentially related standards for a degree towards kind of the quality of the degree, and even epistemologically, knowledge-oriented wise, what kind of knowledge is generated in an academic sense as recognized by the degree will be something that World University and School can focus on in very interesting ways. So first, in English, the degrees accrediting in California would be United States university degrees, on the MIT OpenCourseWare. If we develop then other degrees in Chinese and Spanish and potentially German in, say, Hong Kong and say Spain or Mexico and Germany, then the PhDs in those countries, in those languages, will be different. And yet will emerge out of the MIT OpenCourseWare translated into those languages, and will come into conversation with the English PhD degrees and medical degrees and law degrees and bachelor degrees and international baccalaureate high school planned high school degrees. So accreditation may be also an issue in those countries, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it and seek to offer the PhD degrees in emerging online. And so this would inform how accredited out of WUaS Senior, these online degrees take shape in, say, Hong Kong or China or Mexico or Spain or Germany or Switzerland. And this is very interesting from a knowledge generation perspective. So by parallel, students come from all over the world to Stanford, for example, and UC Berkeley and MIT, and they get a degree, and some return to their own countries. The degree they got from a Stanford or an MIT, and then say returning to China or Spain or Mexico or Germany or Switzerland, has been accredited in a United States context. So these students with their PhDs from the US but returning to their countries would, in some cases, pass a licensing process in their countries to practice their knowledge, as it were. Say a PhD in chemical engineering might have a different licensing process in China or in Spain or in Germany than in the US. And that's the model we're using. So that's a little news and some updates. In previous Mondays, I've talked a little bit about last week bachelor's degree and previous 2 weeks law and medical degrees on the YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/WORLDUNIVANDSCH. So go there if you're interested to learn more about where World University and School is heading with these degrees. This is an open live hangout on air. If you have questions or thoughts, please join in. We're meeting Mondays at 10 a.m. Pacific time, which is 5 p.m. Universal Coordinated Time, Central Europe, Western Europe time. And if you have questions or thoughts or want to share ideas, otherwise, info@worlduniversityandschool.org is the email address. I'm posting to Twitter at twititer.com/WORLDUNIVANDSCH on the one hand, and for the academic press at twitter.com/WUASPRESS. So check in there as well. And thank you. And see you one of these Mondays in the Google Group Video Hangout. I'm Scott McLeod. This is World University and School's live hangout on air on Monday, November 26, 2018. info@worlduniversityandschool.org. I'll post some of the links I've mentioned below the YouTube for today. Thank you and bye.